Hey everybody, welcome back to Global Conflict TCG. Ryan here with you. Didn't think I was going to be doing another devlog session this early because I just did one maybe like a couple days ago. But I'm back. I have a few hours today. Figured I'd go ahead and dive into Global Conflict and see how much I could get done in like 3 hours. So with that, I figured it was a good time to just go ahead and do another devlog session since I made quite a bit of progress since the last video. As you know, this project is pretty expansive, and there's a lot of little things that I have to get done in order to make everything work inside of this project. So today I am working on the card prefab, and by card prefab I'm talking about like an individual card and all the little scripts and FSMs that have to go into the card in order to do things that you need it to do in the game, like count damage, open up attack buttons or attack menus, card holders, attachment holders, ammo card holders, all of that logic that goes in place to do and to track those things. That's what I've been working on. So like I said, been working on that all day today. Let's see, where are we going to get started? So let's go ahead and just hop in the game first, and I'll show you exactly what I've been working on, and I'll show you what it looks like. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and hop in, press play, a little bit of background music, won't hurt anybody. So all right, there we go. It's gonna start up, same thing. Hopefully we'll win the coin toss. And we lost the coin toss. I feel like every time I'm on stream, okay, I have to restart. I feel like every time that I'm doing a video for you guys, I always lose the coin toss. I don't know what it is. Like, try it again. I could just go in and turn this thing off, or just set it to where I win every single time. But what fun would that be? Let's see if we win it this time. Still lost the coin toss. Sheesh. But the player 2 decides to go second, so that's okay. We'll go. Alright, so we're dealing some cards. You can see now, instead of just a bunch of light infantries, I actually have ammo cards out on the field. So, alright, so we're going to go ahead and set our active unit. So let's do that. We'll just drag this guy out, and it doesn't matter where we drop him. We'll put him right there. There we go. Okay, so normally I would just press done. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and do some ammo attachment and show you what that looks like. So we have ammo cards. These are already pre-set up. They're ready to go. One big thing. So when building a TCG in Unity, and I think it wouldn't matter with any TCG if you're building even a Hearthstone or Magic type of game, one of the most important things you're going to find is that you really have to think about layers and what each object in your game, like what layer is it going to be, what card, that card, what other card should it be interacting with? Do you want it to collide with any card, or is there only certain type of cards that should collide with? So with that, ammo cards here, if we take a look, ammo cards can only collide with unit cards. So like if I put it over top of this light infantry, it's going to stick. But if I have it over anything else, it's just going to snap back into place like that. So, which is what we want. And what it does is it actually keeps you from putting an ammo card like in this active slot here. So like it's not going to work because this active slot drop zone is on a different layer than this ammo drop zone. And when it comes to the collision matrix, I have it set up to where it doesn't detect each other. So that was one of the big things I had to work through. So let's go ahead and drop this ammo card on this unit. Boom, there you go. So you see what you saw there was the ammo card detected the unit, and then there's some logic in place on the ammo card that basically when it hits that collider, it sees that it's an infantry unit or it's just a unit card. It finds the ammo card holder object on that unit card, and then basically makes that unit card its new parent. Is essentially what it does. Also, you can see here, see if I could zoom in. If I zoom in a little bit, it's going to look a little blurry, but you can see this little tiny emblem here. And so now when I have ammo attachment, you can see that it actually puts a little ammo emblem at the bottom there to show you which ammo card you attached and how many ammos you have attached to your unit, which is kind of cool. It's like right out of Pokemon. So what's cool about that, we see one ammo, so we'll zoom out, and actually we'll go all the way back. So we'll zoom out, we'll go ahead and attach another ammo card. And it looks like that one didn't stick. There we go. That one stuck. And so now we have 2 ammo cards, and we could just keep on going. We could just go and drop that guy, number 3, and number 4, number 5. Oh, that one didn't stick. I have to figure that out. Sometimes they don't want to stick. Number 5 and number 6. So we can see we have 6 ammo cards on there. The whole sticking issue, I'll have to figure that out. Sometimes it works good, sometimes it's a little buggy. But now if I open up, you can see all my attacks are available. And actually, that's one thing I didn't show you. So let's do this. So we see we got both attacks available. We would weigh like over, we have way too many ammos on this card, so we definitely qualify to use either one of these attacks. If I pause and I come back out, so let's take a look at this unit. So here is the NHA unit. And let's see, ammo object holder. Yeah, right here. So here's the card that is in the active slot. Here's the ammo card object holder. So this is essentially what it is. It's an empty object that holds these ammo cards. So like way back in a previous video, I kind of talked about how I actually count things in this game, like how I keep track of everything. And what I found was easiest for me, not sure if it's the right way, but it seems to work pretty good for me, is I actually, instead of just having arrays for everything, I actually just count children. I find it a lot easier. It's a lot faster. And so essentially I have this empty object here that holds all of these ammo cards. And you can see these ammo cards are actually deactivated. That's part of the logic. So when that card collides with the unit, it deactivates itself, but it still counts as ammo towards the requirements. So let's do this. If I go ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and delete these objects. There we go. And then let's go ahead and I think we just take it off of pause. So now we can see we only have one ammo emblem up there. And if I click on it, the only attack that shows is call reinforcements. So that was some of the logic that I built today. And it took a little bit of time to figure it out. So the cool thing is that the ammo, there's a manager on these cards. So let's just go ahead and open that up. Let's take a look at this. This is the card prefab for the unit card. So we can see NHA Light Infantry. And so on the card prefabs, there you can see there's a whole host of different objects and like UI canvases and things that we can see. But there's also a whole host of different FSMs on this card that really help with the logic of things. So like you can see here, I got my drag FSM, really very simple, mouse down, mouse drag, mouse up. We got a master controller, but let's get to the ammo because that's what we were talking about. So the ammo itself. So I haven't named the states yet on this. So I got to do that. It's one of my like pet peeves. I got to clean this up. But so when an ammo card gets attached to a unit, what the ammo card does when it senses that collider, it gets the ammo card holder object, basically makes that unit card its parent. When it does that, it also sends out an event. And it sends a global event out called ammo card info. And so when that global event gets sent out, it actually gets sent directly to the same card, to the card it's attaching itself to. And when it sends that event, it actually sends info along with the event. And all it is really is just string data. So it's the ammo card name. So when we get that string data, this unit card will go ahead and pick up that string data. It's going to do a string contains to see if it's NHA ammo. Of course, I'm going to expand this out to accept any type of ammo card, not just NHA. And so when I do that, I'll have string contains for all types of ammo. I just haven't set it up yet. But for now, we're just doing NHA ammo. So it looks to see if it's NHA ammo. If it is NHA ammo's the event, it'll go to the next state. And at this point, what it does is it creates an object. So what it does is there's some objects here, master ammo images. So these are all deactivated. What these are ammo emblems. They're the little circles that you see at the bottom of the cards. and I have them. These are the master emblems. So essentially, what this logic is doing is it gets the string name of the ammo that attached itself, takes that string name, looks for, it's going to create a game object called NHA ammo emblem, and it's going to attach it to this ammo image holder. That's that box at the bottom of the card, and actually, which would kind of help you out. Let's do this. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the card. I know it's kind of like it's all off in space. There we go. So here's the card. Actually, let's just click on the card, press F. And for some reason it's not working. Okay, there we go. So this ammo image holder is this box here at the bottom. Let me kind of blow that up a little bit. You can see this green box at the bottom. This holds all the ammos, the ammo emblems. And actually, if you want to see how it actually would work, we could do this. So let's go ahead and turn this on. And we'll turn this on just to show you. And you can see the NHA ammo is actually already there. But if I take like this universal, right, and then if I just move it over to the ammo image holder, bam, there it goes. You can see how it attaches itself. And on this ammo image holder, so let's go ahead and just take that, undo the change, take that back. All right. So now that we're doing that, we could just kind of move that out of the way. There we go. These don't really matter. You could leave these off in space because these masters are just, they're always deactivated. But the key is, and here we'll get this NHA out of here too. The point is this ammo image holder has a 3D layout group on it. You can see here there's a script for 3D group layout. Why that is important is because these objects here, these master objects, they get sucked up into the logic, and then we essentially make clones of those emblems, and we spawn those clones inside of the image holder, which has a 3D layout group. So that way, no matter how many ammos you spawn into that box, it's always gonna space them out proportionally. So sounds kind of complicated, but it's just a box, a layout group that just kind of puts your ammos on there. So like you saw, I put like 6 different ammo cards, and it'll just space them out evenly so you can see all 6. So that's how I did that. We'll go ahead and we could just turn all of this off. None of this stuff, these objects don't actually need to be on. They just need to be here so that way we can draw off of them and create new emblems inside of this holder. They create clones. So there's that. There's this empty that just holds ammo cards that are deactivated. Same thing with the attachment box. So this isn't attached. So like I'm going to have attachment cards on my cards. If I activate this, creates this black box. And then I have images of the different attachments. So here's a Kevlar vest. So if you put a Kevlar vest attachment card on this, just like an ammo card, it'll attach itself and deactivate, and then it'll go ahead and activate whichever image needs to be activated. So same thing, if we got the shotgun, there's a shotgun, so on and so forth. Tank buster, there we go. And of course, I have logic in place. So attachment box manager, if I go ahead and open that up, this is, take a look. We got the attachment box manager. So essentially what it's doing, every time an attachment card will attach, it'll send an event for a new card attachment. It's going to look at the game object. So it's going to activate the attachment box, get child count, so on and so forth. And then, look to see what we need to actually turn on. So there is that. Activate. So, this first state here is actually just deactivating everything. So actually that's supposed to be deactivate. The whole point of this state here is going to deactivate all the attachments. Reason being, when you can only have one attachment card on your unit at one time. So when you attach a new attachment card to this unit, it's supposed to delete or remove that other attachment card and then, you know, put a new image up, so on and so forth. So that's all that's doing. It's just removing or deactivating all of the images, looking to see, getting the next child count and compare. It's looking to see if there's an attachment, and then if there is an attachment, it's going to activate the box, get next child, see what the attachment card is, going to check the name, and it's going to do string contains for the name. And then, of course, depending on the name of the attachment, it'll go ahead and activate the image. Pretty, I don't want to call it simple, but it works. So there's that, and then a lot of the same things, you know, the card holder itself. So when you put that ammo or that attachment card, it's just going to store itself in this card holder. All right, so there's that. Yeah, I showed you the ammo. Also, too, I know this might be kind of boring for people, but this kind of helps me out too. Like I'll come back and rewatch the video just so I can remember how all this stuff works. I'll tell you, like, if I spend any amount of time away from this project, I start forgetting things. There's just so much. There's so much going on, and I think what makes it really complicated too are the different event systems. So, like, as I've gotten better at Playmaker, I really start utilizing events a lot. You know, it's just a way more efficient way of triggering other FSMs. But what's tough is, like, you start to forget where the events are coming from or where they go, and then it's easy to lose track. So try to keep track of that stuff if you can. It could be difficult. Totally get it. All right, so get out of that. Let's look at the ammo card real quick. Same thing. Ammo card has a drag FSM, has a master controller, bigger image controller, and then of course has card properties. Oh, that was one thing. Let's go back to this unit. Okay, so look at the FSM. So we're looking at the light infantry again. All of these FSMs are important. You have to have these things. So, you know, master controller. This is just like it literally is what it is. It's a master controller where it'll. This FSM is really meant to manage all of the other FSMs on this card. And so you can see there's global events here, like enable drag FSMs, disable drag FSMs, enable bigger image FSM, disable. And where that's important is when I start setting up the game manager and we're changing turns from player 1 to player 2, from player 2 to player 1. You need to be able to disable the drag FSMs on your cards, especially when it's not player 1's turn. You don't want that player dragging cards around willy-nilly, like when it's not their turn, or dropping things on the playing surface. So you have to put. I figured I had to create like some kind of controller that would enable and disable FSMs when we need to at the right time. So that's how I do that. And so every card prefab is going to have a master controller on it because we need to be able to enable and disable FSMs when needed. So that's why that's there. This stuff, to me, I'll be honest, like I thought was really complicated at first, but now that I'm doing it, like it's really not. It's just kind of like a switchboard, really, is all it is. Card properties. So this is a big one I wanted to talk about. You really need each prefab to have its own set of card properties that make sense. And really why this is important is because when we start doing attacks and we start applying damage to things, we need to know, how many hit points that card has. We need to know what the card is. Is it a basic unit? Is it a stage 1? Is it a mercenary? That kind of stuff. So you can see here, the card properties FSM has nothing on it. It actually has a blank state. There's nothing, like there's no states or anything. It's strictly just an FSM that holds variable values. That's it. So like for this one, we have, a bool value is basic unit. A light infantry, yes, is a basic unit. So I have it checked true. That's important for the start manager when it's filtering through your hand and it's looking for basic units. That's how I know if you have a basic unit or not in your hand, is by this bool variable here. HP value is another one. So for this card, it has 80 HP. So I have this on here, 80 HP value. This is a big one, damage sustained. So this is different from my previous project where I did damage actually kind of like in reverse. And I would subtract damage away from the HP. On this project, we're going to go the opposite way. We're going to leave the HP value alone, and we're instead going to add damage to the damage sustained variable. And then, of course, once it reaches the threshold of that unit card's HP value, then it'll be knocked out. So another thing, and that will lead me into the damage counters. So I actually made damage counters for this card, and if I go ahead and activate it, it's maybe not the prettiest looking thing, but you can see here, there we go. Yeah, so it's this basically this red cylinder with a 3D text object on it. And if I type 3D text on it, we could see, there we go, 20 damage, so it's got 20. But I actually have, we'll just leave this blank, and we'll take that, we'll deactivate. So I have an FSM on this damage objects for actually I have two FSMs. So we have damage counter manager, damage cylinder manager. This damage cylinder manager is really simple. It's just looking to see, looking at the damage sustained variable inside of the card properties FSM. If the damage sustained is greater than 10, that means we have damage on the card. Go ahead and activate the cylinder, activate the text object, and then from here, it'll stop here, and it's just going to look and see, you know, kind of, it's the exact same as the first state one. It's going to look at damage sustained value again, and then it's going to look at it's going to look at damage sustained. It's going to compare it to 10 damage, and if it's less than 10, then that means that card has no more damage on it anymore, and then it can go ahead and deactivate those very same objects, and I go back here and wait and see if the card sustains any more damage. Very simple. And then the damage counter is also very simple. It's literally just one state looking at damage sustained again. And all it's doing is setting a TextMess Pro object, which is that text box that I just showed you. And what it's going to do, it's going to take the damage sustained value and apply it to that TextMess Pro object. So that's how we count damage. If you want to see it in action, I will show you. Let's do that. Let's go play focused. Click play. So what we'll do, we'll put a card on the field, and then we'll go and manipulate the damage sustained variable on that card. Click heads. We kind of need to win the coin toss again. Man, 3 straight times we lost the coin. And all right, gosh, let's try it again one more time. If it doesn't work this time, I'm gonna go change it. Maybe I should just do that either way. Click heads. Normally I wouldn't care. The reason why it's an issue in this video is because I haven't finished player 2 start manager yet, so it just gets stuck at a certain part. That's why it's an issue. Once I finish player 2 start manager, it won't be a problem. So okay, we want to go first. Finally won the coin toss. There we go. We're drawing our cards. Looks good. Doing our prize cards. We could also see what's in their hand if we just hover over. Oh, looks like a light infantry. Another light infantry. All right, let's go ahead and drop this guy here. All right, so we are gonna go. Let's go back to our settings. Take a look here. So active slot 1. This is the card right here. We have it, and if I pull out a little bit, you can see here I have this card selected. This is right here on the field. We're gonna take a look at the inspector. Go to card properties like that. Go to variables and damage sustained right here. So let's change that to 50, and you can see our damage counter popped up. 50 damage. And if we take a look, you can see, there you go, 50 damage on the field. And let's say, oh no, he got knocked out, 100 damage, he's done. So that's the damage counters. Real simple, just a red cylinder with a 3D text object on it. That's it. Excuse me. I guess that's one thing, I guess it kind of leads me into another topic. Just like anybody else, I have a lot of issues with like paralysis by analysis, where I just kind of get in my head thinking about how I want to do something, and then I spend like all this time like second guessing what I want to do. Try not to get into that. Like I was talking about my last devlog. Like I spent like a good 3 weeks to a month stuck in my head of whether I even wanted to finish this project or how to proceed. And then eventually I kind of pulled my head out of it. I just decided, like, you know what, I'm just going to simplify everything and just do it. Just get it on the field, figure it out. And that's kind of like the approach that I'm taking with this, is like just a really simple red cylinder with a 3D text object. Like, just not getting fancy, just make sure it works. And sometimes that's all it takes, is just get it out there, just make sure it works. It may not be super pretty, but once I finish the game, I'll have time to go back and try to make everything look better. So that is that. What else with the card prefabs? So we got damage, we have ammo attachment, which is pretty much handled. We have the attachment cards, which we're getting handled. After that, so we'll have to set up the attacks, but that'll be once I finish the start managers. We get all that done. But I have this set up, so let's take a look. Let's go ahead and activate. Yeah, we want to activate that. So I'll look at 2D, zoom out. Okay, there we go. So here is our active position. So when your unit card, so this canvas will pop up when you mouse down click on a unit card that is in the active position. It'll open up this panel and give you information. So what it does is it actually shows you information about attacking. So you can see here I have buttons disabled, but let's just go ahead and activate them. Here are the buttons for like that. So a little better look at it. So here are the buttons for your attacks: call reinforcements and precision burst. Don't hate on me if I misspelled them. I'll eventually fix it if I did. So I got buttons here. These buttons are not wired up yet, but they're placed. And then another one, so like the attachments, right? So if we have any attachments, I can go ahead and click those on, and those will be there free to select. Of course, if they'll be there if you meet the ammo requirements. So that's how that works. Very simple panel. I think one of the next things I'm going to do on these panels here, I'll probably add like an information box somewhere up here for just to show you how many ammos you have attached. Probably be what I do. Think about this. Or maybe I'll put the ammo down here. I don't know. I'll figure out something. Somehow, some way, I need to put some more information on this screen with regards to like what ammo cards you have on this unit. And then, of course, depending on the ammos attached, the buttons will appear only if you meet those thresholds. Same thing with the attachments. And then, yeah, so like this screen too, also it's going to be custom to each card. So like this screen is really unique to this card. When I start building this screen for another card, of course, the buttons will be named differently. If the card only has one attack and then like an ability, so it'll have an ability button on there. There's that. But yeah, all of this stuff is custom. Every single card will have this screen, but it'll just be set up different for each one. So yeah, there's that. We'll go and deactivate these. And like I talked about, these are wired up to look at the ammo counts. So if I look at this attack button manager, FSM, once again, apologize, I haven't named everything yet. But here we go. So essentially what this does, all this does is it looks to see, number one, how many ammos you have on this attached to this unit. Number two, what kind of ammo cards you have attached to this unit. And then by doing that, it'll determine which buttons to show you and which ones not to show you, if that makes sense. So, just taking a look. This very first state, I always do this because every time like this canvas pops up, it's going to restart these FSMs new. And then when we close that canvas down, it's going to reset and then when we open it back up again, it's going to restart new. And so that's why this very first state I actually I'm resetting all my variable values, so that way, just in case like this card lost an ammo card during the opponent's turn, when it'll update basically. So, and actually I think I'm gonna have to rework that. We'll see. But it does update each time you open this window, which is what we needed to do. So yeah, we reset all the values. We always reset the values. We get a child count for their ammo object holder. We compare that child count to 0. If it's greater than 0, then that means it has an ammo card, and if it does have an ammo card on it, that means that we can activate the retreat button. Doesn't matter what kind of ammo, just we can activate it. All right, and then next thing, we need to do a loop. So this is where things get like a little bit complicated when you're working with Playmaker, and if you're doing this in C#, it would be the same thing, just you wouldn't see it. But in this case, we have to run a loop. So we have to number one, look at the ammo card object holder. We need to run a loop because we don't know how many ammos we actually have as children inside of this object. So we just run a loop until we run out of children. And each time they run a loop, they're going to do something. They're going to look at the ammo card. They're going to get the card, get the child, name it ammo card. Ammo card, we're going to check the card properties. We're going to check the ammo value. So most ammo cards are just going to be a value of 1 ammo. So, but that's how we check it, ammo value. So we get that value. We also are going to check an FSM bool on that ammo card to see what type of ammo it is, if it's an NHA ammo. Of course, like I'll have to expand this out to check for all types of ammo at some point. But for now, it's just checking for NHA. If it's not, and we'll do the bool test. So if it is an NHA, it'll go true. If it's not an NHA, it'll go false. So let's follow the arrows here. If it is an NHA ammo, it'll go here and it'll add an NHA, and it'll add 1 count to the NHA ammo count. If it is not an NHA, it'll go to other ammo count. All right, and then we do that, and then we do here, set the ammo value. Set the ammo value to 0. This is important because what we do right here when we're getting this int, we're getting the ammo value. We only get this ammo value so we can populate this int add, but after that we don't want to keep adding to the ammo value, or else what will happen is every time you run through and get a new ammo card from Get Next Child, it'll add on top of itself. And then even though you say, let's say for example, even though you only have 2 ammo cards attached to this unit, because you didn't remove the value during this loop, it'll add on top of it, and essentially just give you, if I have this right, yeah, it'll give you 3 ammos instead of 2. So we have to reset the value and then do the loop over again. We do that. So essentially what we get, we have a count of NHA ammos and a count of other types of ammos. And then we go here, so we do some int compares. So we do NHA ammo count, we compare it to 1. So if we have 1 NHA ammo or more, we know that we can, so if we have more than 1 NHA ammo, we can come over here and we just go ahead and activate both attack buttons because we meet the requirements. If we only have 1 NHA ammo, then we'll come down here to the second state, we'll activate attack 1, but then we're also going to look, we're going to do an int operator, which essentially is going to add the NHA ammo count to the other ammo count. And if that count is greater than 2 or equal, then we can go ahead and activate the second attack. If it's not, so let's say we only have 1 ammo card and that's it, then it's only going to have the attack number 1 activated and not attack 2. Hope that makes sense. That's why, like what I showed you earlier, the buttons will turn on and off depending on how many ammo cards you have attached. So that's important. That's how I was able to make this thing work. And then, like I said, every time this screen is activated, it'll go through that process again and get an accurate count. And then when you deactivate it, it'll reset. and then say like you add another ammo card and then you reactivate this screen, it'll have the new count of ammo cards. Cool. Probably this, honestly, I feel bad. Sorry, this video is probably better for me than for you. But maybe it helps somebody. I don't know. So there's that. That's how I did that. And then I think I already talked about the attachment manager. The attachment. Oh yeah, no, I haven't talked about this one. We'll go through this real quick. No, that's the attachment manager. Here we go. This one is very, very simple. All this is going to do, we have the start state here. Once again, it's going to start and restart every time we open the screen. It's very simple. It's going to get next child of the attachment card. It's going to get the attachment card name. And then we have 3 string contains here. So we're looking for the Civ 9, the M6 shotgun, or the tank buster. And if any of these ring true, it'll go ahead. You can see where, let's say we get a tank buster, for example. So bam, we got a tank buster. Then it's going to go up here to state 5. It's going to get child count. So the first set of criteria is, does the unit have an attachment card on it? If yes, then it goes to the next state here. How many ammo cards do we have attached to this unit? Since all of the infantry attachments, they're just universal ammo. You could use any type of ammo to power them up. I don't have to get real specific to see what type of faction ammo they're using, because it honestly doesn't matter. So what we do, we get a child count, like I talked about, of the ammo card object holder, which is right here. When you see all those ammo cards as children as this object, it's just going to count the children. If the count is equal to 4 or greater than 4, then it will go ahead and activate the tank buster attack button inside of the menu, which that button, just to refresh, is this button here. And if I activate it, if we have more than 4 ammos or more, it'll activate this button. There we go, precision strike. So that's essentially all that's doing. And of course, like, if you put a different attachment card on, like I said, every time you open this screen, it's going to go through that FSM again, and then it'll have a different attack button depending on which attachment you put on. That's a mouthful. But that's how it works. So I think that is it. That's basically what I did today. I built this attachment manager, this ammo manager, the damage objects. Like, I built all these things and just tried to make them work. So cool. I think that's about it for that. I also am working on this. Actually, let me just go and deactivate that just so I don't forget. Deactivate this. Box manager, yeah, we gotta leave that open. Card holder, that has to be on. Then another thing I'm working on too is, so this screen here, this is for a card that is not in the active position, but you want to click and view like details of the card. We could do that here for if they're on their base, essentially. If they're in the field of play on the base, you can look at this. This screen is going to be important because, let's say you want to open it up and see, how many ammos exactly, or like what kind of attachment is on the card. You can do that here. But even more important is if the unit has like an ability that you can use just while the card is in play, you'll be able to access that ability here on this screen. So important stuff. Got to make sure we have it. And then of course abilities will also be on the active position too if you need it. So that's how we're handling that. There's something else. Oh, on the active, so like on the active screen, let me go back. Like I said, I haven't wired anything up yet. So like all of the attack buttons, let's just go and activate those real quick. None of these buttons are wired up yet. So like if I click on attack 1, you can see it on click is the list is empty. I don't have any actions yet. But what's going to happen is this button is going to have an FSM attached to it. And essentially when you click the button, it's going to send an event to the attack manager, so on and so forth. That's important, but we're not there yet. I'm not at the point where I'm doing attacks yet, but that's how that'll work. Another one I got to set up is the retreat. So This one's going to be interesting. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to set it up yet, because when you click the retreat button, I'm probably going to need to bring up like a secondary screen that allows you to pick whichever ammo card you want to discard in order to retreat. So I don't know yet. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that, but that's something I'm going to have to do eventually. All right. What else is there? I feel like that was it. I literally spent my entire day on this card prefab. So it's one of the things, I've literally spent like 3 hours on this thing. But the good news is once I finish this card prefab and I have, all the systems in place for attachments, ammo, damage, retreat, you name it, what'll be cool is I'll be able to duplicate this and just change the images and change the attack details and stuff. Like, it'll save me a ton of time, because if I remember right, I got 28 unit cards that I have to account for. So it's really not that bad. The hardest part is building the first one, and then once I have it down and it works, I'll just duplicate it 27 more times, and then that'll be the rest of my units. So not too bad. All right, let's get out of here. Is there anything else I need to talk about? I haven't really done anything on here. I guess one thing you noticed is the other player actually now, like, we don't see their cards. I know from the last video you're able to see their hand, so they're able to fix that. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and play one more time. Just take a look. I think I'm gonna go tails this time. I can't wait till I finish this and I'm able to do like actual gameplay, like videos for you guys. Trust me, I want to play. Oh no, I left it active. Let's go back. So you can see it just popped up. It just immediately popped this screen up. It's because it is active. So let's turn that off and then go back. Try again. We also lost the coin toss too, so I was gonna have to restart regardless. All right, let's try this again. Heads. Watch us lose. Son of a gosh, keep losing. And we lost again. Oh, jeez. I swear. Let's turn it off. Okay. I feel like there's something that I'm missing, but okay, let's try it one more time. I don't know if anybody even makes it to the end of this video. I'm sorry. If you enjoyed it, I don't know, smash the like button. I don't blame you if you don't, but hey, look, we won the cost. Let's go first. All right. Oh, we're gonna mulligan? We almost mulliganed. That was another thing I had to work on too today. The mulligan system, it actually works now. All right, let's go put that out there. Let's attach. Let's do this. So snap back. Let's take a look. So, oh no, why is it showing? Because I left the buttons active. Oh man, damn. All right, let's see. I'm like losing it today. Yeah, I need to deactivate all of these. I left these active. Deactivate those. There we go. Try this again. I think it's time for me to take a break. Let's see if we win the toss again. We won. I'm surprised. All right, first. I left it open again. I give up. Okay. Anyways, yeah, let's do this. Turn it off. You guys seen it. Look, everything works. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to show you guys. That's pretty much it. If you guys got anything out of this, I don't know, let me know in the comments. I'll probably do another devlog maybe in the next couple days. I plan on spending some time on this over the weekend not too much time, but hopefully I get a few hours here and there to put into it. Probably the next step, finish off the card prefab. I'll finish off the start manager for player 2. That's kind of like left in flux right now if I open that up. This is player 2. This is the AI side. Where I left off with this, now that I think about it, this scripted part is done. So my next part is I have to build this decision tree, which is this guy here. So that's the next step, where I'm giving the AI the ability to make its own decisions. So when I finish the card prefab, I'm going to come here next. The other thing too, the reason why I stopped this is because I need to finish the card prefab, so that way once it's done, I can go ahead and make the card prefabs for player 2. And so that way that'll be actually kind of fun. Maybe I'll do a video for that. I actually have to pick the deck that I want to play against for the opponent. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to pick yet. I don't know. Let's take a look. So there's Tank Buster. I'm not sure what I want to play against. I think I kind of want to play against like this SAA faction. So maybe I'll give him like 4 of these guys. Maybe 4 marksmen, 4 grenadiers, 4 rocketmen. I don't know if I want to give him a tank. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I'll probably give him a tank. Or maybe I'll give him like one of these guys or like a mercenary or something. Yeah, I think I'm going to play against the SSA. So we'll build a deck for them. And so, like I said, that's why the card prefab is so important that I finish it. So that way, like, I could just go ahead and make the rest of the prefabs. And just kind of get that completely done. All right, I think this is a good time to end it. I know I've probably wanted to end this for the last 10 minutes, but there's just a lot going on. And also this video will be good for me to go back and remember this stuff. So, all right, if you guys like this stuff, smash like, subscribe. If you actually made it this far, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead and look forward to the next devlog I got coming, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.